Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the Professor, and this is the Moment of Truth. Yeah, you know when the circus has come to town. Herschel Walker made his name on the football field, but his off-field behavior is what he's famous for these days, and not in a good way. The latest in a seemingly never-ending stream of revelations about him have come out this week, and people are outraged, I tell you. First of all, for all you undercover Democrats out there, you'll be happy to know that the dumbest man in politics is falling behind in a race that never should have been close to begin with. And if this is what it takes to finally give Rafael Warnock a lead over a GOP candidate, then you better count on him being a one-term wonder. Herschel Walker, like Herman Cain before him, has found himself the target of accusations involving women, and like Herman Cain, the first accusations against Walker came not from Democrats, but from Republicans. First, there were ads paid for by a GOP organization calling itself the Republican Accountability PAC. It's one of those never-Trump organizations. They had Herschel Walker's ex-wife, Cindy Grossman, do an ad for them saying that Herschel had evil eyes and threatened to shoot her. The ad itself starts off with a female voiceover saying,
"Do you think you know Herschel Walker? Touchdown, Georgia!" Well, think again.
Do you think you know Herschel Walker? Well, think again. You know, that's the exact same line, the exact same talking point, word for word, that the GOP used against Barack Obama. In fact, it's what the white media and others always say about any black man who has a good reputation, any black celebrity who's in good standing in the public eye. When it comes time to tear him down, they say, well, you don't know who this guy really is. In other words, he's just like the rest of those Negroes. You only thought he was nice because he was fooling you. You know how tricky those niggers are. I'm not saying that Herschel Walker is a good guy or someone that we should be taking the side of any more than Barack Obama or Rafael Warnock. What I'm saying is that anti-black racism is a bipartisan issue, and both political parties practice it. In the case of the Republicans, they do it against any black man they come across, even if he's in their own party. Before you get sucked into the back-and-forth professional wrestling-style circus of the Democrat and Republican elections, just understand that they're always running against black people. Now, the accusations about Herschel Walker abusing his ex-wife, pulling a gun on her and all that accusation's been out there for a while now, and it failed to move the needle or get any sort of traction. And using an ad with his ex-wife in August, that didn't do anything to damage Walker's poll numbers. But as it turned out, somebody had an October surprise waiting for Herschel Walker. This week, the Daily Beast ran a story alleging that Walker paid for a woman's abortion after he got her pregnant. Now, this is according to the Daily Beast, so take it with a tablespoon of salt. Since that accusation dropped on Monday, Herschel Walker's been denying it. But that became a lot harder when his own, let's say, flamboyant son, Christian Walker, went on Twitter and began a Twitter storm denouncing his father, calling Herschel Walker a liar, saying that Walker had indeed abused and terrorized not just his mother, but the entire family, and airing all kinds of dirty laundry, saying he was an absentee father to all the outside babies he'd had.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values?
Walker had admitted just this year that he had a 10-year-old child that he hadn't previously said anything about, and this was in addition to 2 other children he'd also had, so apparently he's got 4 kids in all, as it turns out. On a side note, Herschel Walker also admitted to having dissociative identity disorder. That means multiple personalities. He wrote about it in an autobiography in 2008. If I were him, I'd blame those bastard kids on one of my alter egos. Again, people already knew that Herschel Walker had multiple personalities, and they still couldn't decide that Rafael Warnock was clearly the better candidate. So the abortion allegation combined with Walker's own son denouncing him is apparently the straw that broke the camel's back. The interesting thing about that is Christian Walker had been supporting Trump. And of course, he campaigned for his father and didn't have a cross word to say. Well, that is until this week. But now Christian Walker's done a breakneck 180. Though if Christian Walker is expecting to be welcomed with open arms by the white left, he might want to think again. The white media is already carrying out a scorched earth policy. They want to limit young Mr. Walker's ability to reinvent himself because they've already got enough bootlicking Negroes on the left, same way they have more than enough on the right. He won't be a hero to either side after this. You can file this one under white supremacy breaking its tools. But the fact the singularly least electable candidate since Marjorie Taylor Greene had been neck and neck with Rafael Warnock up until now just goes to show that if next time the Republicans run a candidate with an IQ higher than their shoe size, Warnock will be out of office. But there's also another dimension to all this that needs mentioning. At no point did Warnock or his DNC handlers ever begin making promises for tangible benefits to the black voters of that Senate district. They made no promises at all. Instead, the Democrats' entire strategy for this Senate seat was to either turn out white Democratic voters or to drive up Walker's negatives and get Republican voters to be sour on him. Latest headlines are claiming that Warnock is now pulling away from Walker with a lead that could be as high as 12 percentage points. So it would seem the collective weight of showing Walker is just another black man with a bunch of kids he doesn't support and abusing his partner because black men don't take care of their women. It's the golden blackjack that never misses. Not that Walker deserves for it to. But when they launch these attacks against black people, they always utilize the same old racial narratives. And those are the narratives that they use to justify the daily injustices that we suffer at their hands. But anyway, Democrats are doubling down on their electoral strategy that they will absolutely not be offering black people anything, and they'll be doing whatever they can to appeal to whatever non-black constituency they think they can attract. Elections are meant to decide who gets what, and neither Walker nor Warnock are offering black people anything. So you'll just have to excuse me if I don't jump up and down for joy at the prospect that Warnock's going to hold on to his Senate seat. And by the way, I know that there's a lot of you out there who are going to be saying, yeah, but what about his kids and all the rest of it? I agree. Herschel Walker should be on the hook for all of that. These are all of his misdeeds coming back to haunt him. But don't think that that's what the Democrats are concerned about. Democrats are happy with this only because they're seeing that in this race at least, it confirms that their electoral strategy of trying to circumvent the black vote can work. They can successfully ignore black people and still hold on to office. You want to be outraged about something? Be outraged about that. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Detroit Beauty Supply, Alexandria Sturgeon, Brian Walton, Starlet Thompson, and Loke Thies. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.